Hey all, we finally get all the reveals from set 13, and yeah, boy, they're pretty busted. So first off, let's kind of start off with the least cool ones, and that is the Almagesta cards, the Unica cards. Let's not beat around the bush here. No one really cares about this deck, unfortunately. It's been power creeped out the wazoo by everything else. But let's just look at this. So this is Vilni's Chimera. So at auto regard circle once per turn, when this unit is chosen by the ability of your Vanguard with Almagesta in its card name, Soul Charge 1, and this unit gets power plus 5,000 until the end of turn. That is insane, right? It's Soul Charge. And the next one is Phonograph Opera Star. So when this unit is placed on Regard Circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Almagesta in its card name, counterblast 1 and draw a card. Wow, that is cool. The second effect though is actually pretty good. So Con during your turn on the Regard Circle, this unit gets power 5,000 for every 2 critical triggers in your bind zone. So if you have 8, if all your critical, it gets a free plus 20k, right? So it's a 30k beater if you manage to pull all your crit triggers in. That is crazy. I've never seen these kind of cards before in my life. But this is kind of funny because now we're going to compare them with the other cards that get released. So first off, we have Youthberg Full Blast, Rebel Form Full Blast. So the effect is super long, right? We kind of know the effect already, but I'll just kind of recap it. Auto, when this unit is placed on the Vanguard Circle by the Revel Dress ability, counterblast 1 and perform all of the following according to the card names in your soul. If you have all of the following, all of your front row units get power plus 15,000 until the end of turn. So the first one is if you have Youthberg Revel Form Zest, this unit gets critical plus 1. Second one is Youthberg Revel Form Gust, this unit gets drive plus 1 until the end of turn. And then the third one is Youthberg Revel Form Tempest, where you choose one of your opponent's regards and put it on the bottom of their deck. And the second effect is, at the end of the turn, choose a card with Revel Dress ability from your soul and write as rest. So overall, if you have the full combo, right, you get +1 drive, +1 crit, a bottom deck. So basically all the key components of what the original Revel form was, and your front row gets power plus 15k, right? The question has always been, getting all these cards into Soul feels very slow unless they release some really, really good support that makes it fast. And the support was revealed today, so thank God, right? This card is not bad. So first support we get is Witch of Extinguishment Fergosa. So this first effect is auto. When this unit is placed on the Regard Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Youth in its card name, Soul Blast 1, search your deck or drop for up to 1 card with Revel form in its card name and put it into Soul. And if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. If your Soul has 3 or more cards with Revel form in their different card names, cost Soul Blast 1 card without a Revel form in its card name and draw a card. So basically, you get a Revel form from your drop or deck, put into Soul, and if you have you have the full combo, right, the 3 different ones, you can Soul Blast 1 card without, that's not the Youthberg grade 3, without the Revel forms, to just draw a card, right? No CB needed, which is very, very good, right? And the second effect is Regard Circle. When your Vanguard is placed by the Revel Dress ability, this unit gets power plus 5,000 until the end of turn. So it's just a nice icing on the cake. The main thing is that first ability to search out your Revel form cards to be able to pull off Full Blast ASAP, right? And the second card they revealed, and this one apparently wasn't shown in the anime, but this one is probably just even better, right? So Bard of Brave Instrument Carino. So this effect is auto. When this card is placed on the Regard Circle from the deck during your turn, or discarded from hand during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Youth in its card name, search a deck or drop for up to 1 card with Revel form in its card name, reveal it and put it into your hand, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. If you put a card into your hand, choose a card from your hand and put it into Soul. So, right, this is fully free, right? And, if you can discard this via Youthberg's effect, or, call it, or, discard it via the ride deck, right? Just discarding for, the ride. It just gets you anything you need. It just gets you anything you need. No questions asked. And you can just shove it into soul if you want to. Or you can shove anything into soul, right? If you need the rebel form, you can keep it in your hand, right? But if you already have another one and you're good to go, shove it into soul. This thing like works even when you're fully set up to get more full blast. Actually busted. Like these two cards that they kind of showed and confirmed the effects probably push Youthberg to very strong, right? I think the biggest problem with Youthberg, there was actually two problems with Youthberg, is that the first one is if it's too slow, then what's the point in playing it, right? You might as well just play a different deck that's faster. But the problem is, if they print support cards that make your Youthberg really fast, the full blast really fast, right? Turn 3 fast, right? The moment you ride grade 3, you can go full blast. Then we have another problem where the format becomes so fast that everyone's just like going first and getting full blast, or maybe high rolling a full blast and then just killing you, right? And there's like nothing you can do. Like if your full blast guy went first and you're on the receiving end, you're at grade 2, you're sitting there, your opponent just got a front full of like 15k plus, right? They just got a plus 15k for free. What are you doing, right? You're gonna sit there and not do anything. You're just gonna eat the damage, go to like 4 or 5 damage, and you probably just lose the game, right? You might even just die, right? Because, you know, the rebel form, you know, it's Vanguard restand, right? Your side columns are massive. You don't have a lot of shield in this game. You just kind of eat damage or like peach, just something like that. Like, there is nothing you can do at that situation, right? Except pray for defensive OT, right? So that kind of is like the other problem. Now I feel like that is the problem we're going to be entering into pretty soon, right? If full blast is actually the thing, if we've tested the format and go, yeah, the high roll is really good, then I don't know. And you still have like a good fallback option if you don't get the full blast, right? With these new tools, you can kind of get a Tempest instead, and then just go with that and go for, you know, Tempest first into full blast. But you still always have that high roll opportunity, which is like full blast. Well, you don't go into that many full blasts because they're probably dead. But yeah, just max full blast. So I don't know. I feel like this is really good for the deck, but for the game, I'm not sure, right? Because we were talking about how good Leonore is, how fast they were, how good Bejeweled is. Game's gone really fast. This kind of raises the stakes a bit, right? But then we also got the Jiva reveals. So first off, we have Blazing Heavenly Break Equipped Dragon Kalmadak. So con all of this card's outer dress get auto regard circle. When this unit attacks, choose one of your opponent's vanguards, and this unit gets power plus 2k until the end of that battle for each grade of that unit. So it's a common. What do you expect, right? But it is a Blazing Heavenly Break Dragon. It's got a name, which is pretty important. The second one they revealed is Blazing Heavenly Spearhead Equipped Dragon Nandika. Right, so auto, when this card becomes an original dressed, right? Soul Blast 1, choose one of this card's outer dress units, and it gets con to regard circle. During the battle, this unit attacks when your opponent would call cards from their hand to guardian circle. They must call 2 or more at the same time until the end of turn. So it's just like a battle door, but it is until the end of turn. So yeah, you know, if you restand, you double dip the power or double dip the effect. Third card they revealed was Blazing Heavenly / Equipped Dragon Draha. So this is a double R now. This is actually getting into good territory. When this unit is placed on the regard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Nirvana in its card name, counterblast 1 and retire another regard. Search your deck or drop for up to a total of 2 cards with Blazing Heavenly in their different card names, call them to the regard circle as rest. And if you search the deck, shuffle your deck. If you had retired a regard in the crossover dress state, with this card, draw a card. So, you know, this with Jiva's effect to call just a bunch of cards means that you can flood the board pretty effectively to get like some big crossover dresses getting. So this is actually pretty good. It is kind of named though, right? So basically everything they're releasing in this set that is relevant has the Blazing Heavenly. It's named the Prayer Dragons, at least, that they're showing us. So you can search those, but I think the old ones you can't really, right? And then the last one, this is a triple R. So Blazing Heavenly Render Equipped Dragon Aparagia. So auto, when this unit is placed on the regard circle other than from deck, Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Search your deck for up to 1 Prayer Dragon, call to the regard circle, and shuffle your deck. So another way to build a board. This one only requires a Soul Blast. No counter blast for this one, right? Auto, when this card becomes an original dress, draw a card, choose one of this card's outer dress units, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, it cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effect. So this is this is why it's triple R. Let's put it that way. It kind of refunds itself when it goes original dress, right? Which is great. No cost needed as well. And then it gives like fake resist to the Virina. So it's that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It means like, you know, things like Gandiva or whatever, if it's still around, can't retire, it just stays there, gets more value from that card, which is pretty nice, right? Pretty nice. And then lastly, they reveal Blazing Holy Sword Equip Strava Arena. So, you know, you can cross overdress this with 1 Trickstar and 2 or more Prayer Dragons with different card names, right? And then it's got a bunch of effects. So the first one is a Cont front row regard circle. During a turn, if this unit is in the cross overdress state, this unit gets power plus 10,000, and all of your vanguards with Nirvana in their card names get triple drive and power 10k. So I feel like, you know, Nirvana Jiva, people were always wondering, is Jiva better than Maha Nirvana? And the answer was always kind of mixed, right? It was always kind of mixed because Jiva has shown like basically no results. Well, Maha Nirvana was still quite solid. You know, you always had the triple attack. Yeah, it stood a bunch of stuff. You know, it's a solid card overall, right? But now this is the patch notes coming in and going, well, now your Jiva gets the triple drive and it gets power. So yeah, that solves that issue, right? And then auto regard circle. When this unit in the cross overdress state stands by your vanguard's ability, if your opponent's vanguard is grade 3 or greater, counterblast 1 and stand all of your talisman or prayer dragon regards. So all talisman is pretty much all the Varinas, and prayer dragons, right? If this unit has 5 or more original dress, remove all of your markers from your opponent's regard circles and retire all of your opponent's regards. So you can, you know, get 5 original dress, right, by just having a max board and then just cross overdressing. You don't have, that's pretty anime, right? Maybe if you're against a Glyphagira, you'd do that, but otherwise normally you'd probably just get the minimum amount of cross overdress and call it a day. All right, because you still stand the whole board. You still stand your whole board pretty much, and you still get basically all the other effects. So this is actually pretty good, right? Pretty good. Bear in mind as well, all that blazing, you know, heavenly prayer dragon cards that are revealed like in this set, they'll give like your Strava Arena like stuff, right? Because you know they activate when you overdress them pretty much. So you know this guy will also be hitting maybe with extra power, maybe with guard restrict, with resist as well, so it kind of stays there again. So yeah, that's pretty good, and it hits for good numbers. It's a great restand target because then it restands everything else. And at least this one is kind of grade restricted, right? Your opponent has to be grade 3 for the super effect to work. But otherwise, it's pretty good, right? It is pretty good. It's literally kind of patching Jiva's weaknesses and making it decent. Yeah, so you know, now everyone who invested in Jiva doesn't feel sad. The anime effect, pretty much, the retire all the markers. You know, people have been saying, wow, it worked, you can retire premium. Well, we have Blazing Flare Dragon, which already does that. So yeah, no one's running Prayer Dragons in a premium yet, so there is nothing to worry about, right? And you have to stand from your Vanguard's effects. So I don't know. Well, will you be using the effect in standard though? Maybe in a very rare situation, a very niche situation, maybe when you're like so far ahead, right, that if you just retire everything they have, they basically have like no comeback, right? Otherwise, you know, if you're against a Glyphagira deck, you just make them feel bad, retire all this stuff. I guess like Magnolia Masks also feels pretty bad because that actually wants masks, like the actually wants those Dragon Tree markers or whatever, right? So once you get rid of that, that deck is just a sad putty. But I don't think there'll be that many people playing anyway because everything from set 13 just seems very, very strong. Maybe worryingly so, right? Because everything just kind of wants to kill you by turn 4. And in some cases, they might just kill you even earlier if they high roll. So let me know what you guys all think, right? You know, is this set good? Is this good card design? I personally actually don't think this is good for the game, right? We'll have to see with more testing. There's also some secrets, right? So, you know, here's some nice looking, you know, secret rares. And these are another one, right? Maybe not the Alden so much. I wouldn't want to pull that. But, you know, Leonor and Vivace, pretty cool. I do want to kind of point out, yeah, so, you know, Leonor and Vivace, this was supposed to be, you know, the next stage in power creep. The Dragilled grade 4, the next stage in cow creep. Yeah, we're starting to look at some of these cards that are also getting some incredible power creeps. Again, I don't know if this is really good for the game or not. We will be playing Worlds in this format, so If you're playing standard, I don't know, right? If you like playing a very, very high rolly, very power-based game, right? Where there's just absolute blowouts. That's what I think anyway, right? I could be proven wrong through testing. But yeah, if that's the case, I don't know. I don't really know what to think. Let me know what you guys all think in the comments below. And I will see you all tomorrow. We might have to be building some of these decks, right? So, bye.